What the? Okay, so in the books, I'm a fan of the Dornish plot. I think it's a very well-developed plot. I think it's very entertaining to read. I think it's lovely. In the show, not so much. It's kind of a flaming train wreck mated with a dumpster fire. So I was on the internet just a minute ago, and I saw a comment that says, and I'm quoting here, Dorne was convoluted in the books. This is presented, this quotation is presented as rebuttal to the fandom butthurt that is the Dorne subplot in the TV show. If you only watch Game of Thrones and you have not read A Song of Ice and Fire, what you're seeing is not Dorne. That's not how that works at all. You should go and pick up the books if you want a good representation of Dorne, because you're not going to find it on the show. The casting for Oberyn was great. The casting for Dorne was great. The casting for Ilaria was great. Everything else, literally everything else about the Dornish subplot in the shows is so off base that we have been griping about it since it happened. Like, they're angry. And it's a very popular subplot in the books. People like it. It's well written. It's good. It is convoluted. I will agree with that poster. It is convoluted. It's complex, I would actually say. Complicated, well reasoned, well thought out. And at this point, Sean Lees, I'm sorry, I'm going to set you off to the side. We'll come back to you in a minute. What I would say to people that feel like the Dorne plot was overly complicated and convoluted and they couldn't follow it is, bitch, what the fuck you doing reading Song of Ice and Fire? Why don't you go get your ass on some of that get a mouse a cookie shit? You know, get you some One Fish, Two Fish, or some Cat in a Hat or some shit. You do not need to be reading a Dorne subplot if you can't handle political subtleties. Doran Martell is a patient genius. And I'm really mad that we're never going to get to see that in the show. The Dorne plot is so long-term that most people in the series cannot possibly comprehend it. There are people involved in that plot, working it out day after day after day, and they don't know what's going on. They don't see the end goal. They don't see, because it's great. It's great. It is some Varys level bullshit that Doran Martell is trying to pull in the books. And it's amazing. It's not that watered down Littlefinger crap. And it's definitely not this Ilaria saying, oh, let's stab everyone that's ever looked at a Lannister. I stole that quote too. That's not mine. But, yeah, D&D, what are you doing? What are you doing? You took one of the best subplots in the book. Okay? And there are a lot of subplots in that book. There are as many subplots in that book as there are characters. So much going on in these books. And the Dorne subplot, along with the Iron Island subplot, which I'm also afraid they're going to completely wreck for the sake of maintaining a fan base on one or two popular characters, that some of them shouldn't even be in this season at all. I'm looking at you. You know who you are. Fuck up out of here with that shit, because one of the minor characters got cut and you still get to be in the game going all buddy cop around with everybody's favorite squire. Fuck out of here. And does anybody else think that it's really weird that there's a long, intensive camera, thing focusing on Jon Snow's dead, frozen, waxy corpse? It's like they're saying, no, see, he is dead. See, he really is dead. See, he really is dead. I promise he's really dead. Let me tell you what's wrong with this. First off, that's real obvious. Anytime you start, focusing hardcore the camera frame on a particular thing, you're going to arouse suspicion about it. Because that's like putting up a sign on a closet that says there's nothing in here. There may be nothing in there, but everybody's going to open that door and look. It's not going to keep anybody out. That's what I'm getting at here. That's the first thing. Because you spend so much time on this, Jon Snow is dead, 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 all right, that we're really starting to wonder about it. Secondly, and this is my big thing, all the media hoopla, all the stuff has been like, well, Jon Snow is dead. He's really dead. He's dead. He's dead as a doornail. Fans of the books are not saying Jon Snow is not dead. We're not. We know he's dead. We saw him die in the books, too. He's dead. D-E-D, Dornell dead. We know this. That's never been our question. Our question is not, is Jon Snow dead? It's, does he stay that way? Those of us that know that he's dead, and that he has to be actually, factually, legally, beep, flatline dead for some of the theories that we have to work, that's more obfuscation. That's more unnecessary obfuscation. I don't, like, what? Of course he's dead. We saw him get stabbed to death. We know. We know. His lips are blue. He's dead. We know. But is he going to stay that way? And let me tell you another thing. This is why I don't think he's going to stay that way. Because there are, and this ties into my Brienne rant from a minute ago, there are only 2 reasons to show in the series Beric Dondarrion being resurrected by Thoros of Myr through the power of the Red God. The only 2 reasons that you would show that, because the whole Brotherhood without banners thing could have been skipped. We could have just thrown Arya into some other trouble. We could have had an extended scene at Harrenhal. We could have skipped all of that, whatever. But the only reasons to show that are, number 1, if you're going to bring in Lady Stoneheart, and if you are foreshadowing something else. The Stoneheart reason is gone because Lady Stoneheart is not in the show. Should have been, but she's not. And I think that the reason that Lady Stoneheart is not in the show is because Brienne is a fan favorite, and we wanted to keep her around longer and doing the things that she should be doing. And so that removes half of the reasoning for bringing back Beric Dondarrion at the hands of Thoros of Myr. The only other situation in which it is necessary to show that from a narrative standpoint with a limited amount of time per episode and a limited number of episodes per season is if you're foreshadowing something else. What could we possibly be foreshadowing? Let's see. A Red Priest of the Lord of Light, R'hllor, brings back to life someone who was dead. Thoros did it numerous times to Beric Dondarrion. And in the show, we even have the added moment of Melisandre meeting Thoros of Myr, discussing religion with Thoros of Myr for a brief second, Thoros' mission, and how he's kind of failed it, and Thoros being like, well, blah, 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 back and forth. With the whole, Gendry and that poor robot, thing. So, we have the added scene there that I don't remember that being in the books. Maybe it was. I don't remember Melisandre ever meeting Thoros of Myr in the books, though. So we've got that extra connection there. And Melisandre's at Castle Black with Jon Snow's body, and people have repeatedly in last night's episode referenced maybe the Red Woman can help us out. You're not slick, D&D. You're not slick. You ain't smooth. You ain't pull shit over on nobody. We know what's going on here. You're going to drag it out a couple of episodes for dramatic effect, and then you're going to do it. Or you're not. And if you do it, well, I'll look at you and say, told you so. And if you don't, then who's in your writer's room? Like, really? 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 I don't know. I don't know what's going on anymore. I don't understand this whole Brienne ex machina thing that keeps happening. Like, every single time, she shouldn't be somewhere, she just miraculously shows up and saves the day. What the cock is that shit? Like, what, really? I like Brienne of Tarth as much as the next guy. That is bananas. So, just give us the scene where she sees the gravedigger, let us have our Clegane Bowl, and just leave us alone. But stop with Dorne. Just stop with Dorne. Just stop with Dorne. It is so patient. It is so meticulous. It is so precise. It is so perfect. And you fucked it up. Keep watching this damn shit. Y'all motherfuckers need Jesus.